Well, hi there everybody, and welcome to That 90s Spider-Man Show, where we watch episodes of Spider-Man the Animated Series and tell you about them, and for some reason you listen. Well, I'm one of your hosts, my name's Henry, and alongside me as always is Jack.
Do we have to start with, berating the listener for choosing us? If there's any doubt in their mind about listening to this podcast, then we've immediately sent them away.
We are reinforcing their doubt. We're saying, we only want the most dedicated of listeners. We don't want any, fair weather listeners to this podcast.
I'd be happy with fair weather listeners.
I would not. You have to be committed. If you're not committed, you might as well just quit right now and just don't listen to any more of these episodes.
Yeah, this is some serious shit right here.
This is some serious shit about Spider-Man the Animated Series. Most of you probably got bored when this fucking cartoon came out.
I don't know. Who knows? I have no idea what the age range of people listening to this are.
Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming they're, young because they're, they had to make mistakes.
Yeah, but also, why would any young person care about the 90s? They probably don't know the series had existed.
No. They were probably just let's go for, Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Fidget spinners.
I can't believe they've adapted the Spider-Man movies into an animated show.
Anyway, on this episode of That 90s Spider-Man Show, we're covering Season 3, Episode 7. Which, I've got in my notes here, it's called More Daredevil, but I know that's not right. It's called The Man Without Fear.
Yeah.
Which refers to none other than Daredevil, who is the Man Without Fear.
Yeah, I think working title, the first in this two-parter was called The Man Without Fear, and this was called The Man Who Is Still Without Fear.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so in this fearless opening to Spider-Man the Animated Series, we start off where we left off, which was a building exploding and the debris falling on Spider-Man and Daredevil. To everyone's shock, this doesn't happen. Spider-Man and Daredevil survive thanks to Daredevil's big stick.
I mean, it kind of happens because there's a series of, nice save, and then immediate rubble falling on them.
Yeah.
I think the main thing to take away from this is that, as we know last time, Daredevil seems to be a way better fighter than Spider-Man. Yeah. But Spider-Man is much more used to having rubble fall on him.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So it happens 5 times during this opening, and he just shrugs it off because he's like, day in the life.
Day in the life.
And Daredevil's like, what the fuck, that would kill me.
Yeah. The first one that, kind of falls on them to prompt the to be continued, is saved by Daredevil's big stick energy. He immediately gets injured, and Spider-Man's like, I'm sorry, I've got to help clear Peter Parker, so you'll figure this out, right? Right? Just leaves Daredevil to die probably. And yeah, he kind of goes down over this machine before a ton of rocks fall on him. He survives. He manages to get Daredevil out. He's like, yeah, thanks for saving my life, asshole. Thanks for going right to that. They go to the rooftop and they're like, well, I guess since you did save my life belatedly, I can tell you who I've been trying to fight. And he kind of reveals to Spider-Man that he believes that Wilson Fisk is Kingpin.
Yeah, which they've been dragging this out so long that I kind of wasn't expecting it in a weird way. It's like, oh shit, yeah, there's been a change up.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man then says something like, oh, that's why the Hobgoblin was trying to take him down or whatever. But what he should be saying is, that's why Wilson Fisk was peripherally involved in every single bad thing that's happened to me. Yeah,
he's we're talking about intelligent Spider-Man. He is not present in this episode, let me tell you. So, we cut to Cassadell Fisk, coincidentally, where Kingpin is pissed, right? He's, really upset that, his building blew up, one, and two, that, his plan is failing. He's kind of, chewing out Smythe, being like, what the fuck? What's going on?
And this is another one of those many, many scenes of him being failed to by every single one of his subordinates who bring him bad news all at the same time.
He's been let down by everyone in his life.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's kind of yeah, fucking Smythe, what's your fucking deal? Because it turns out it's Smythe's idea to, frame Peter Parker for some reason.
Yeah.
And right when, all seems lost, they turn on the news and, the news is yeah, this old lady's in hospital again.
Yeah, Kingpin is so happy to see an old lady has been hospitalized.
I kind of question why, this is news. But I feel in New York, in this version, she's the one who's known for just being perpetually hospitalized.
But that would make it less newsworthy. I think the reason it's newsworthy is because she's the only living relative of the treasonous New Yorker who is now on the lam. I think that's news.
My headcanon is that, she's in hospital so often, they're like, oh, look, hospital lady's in hospital again, and it becomes a meme, almost. Yeah, so Kingpin's maybe we can use this. We should have a spy around if Peter shows up.
Yeah, and then Peter's like, I'm going to jump into this trap.
Yeah. While all that's happening, Terry Lee shows up. She gets chewed out for just fucking everything up by the FBI agent, Agent Choi, I've got down here. They kind of came into the building and then she was like, hey, you sure Peter did this? He's a piece of shit, but I don't think he did this. Peter, as Peter Parker, shows back up at Matt Murdock's apartment and he immediately like turns on the TV to see what's going on. And he's like, oh shit, she's in hospital again. And Matt Murdock's like, hey, remember how you're a convicted felon?
Yeah. If he wasn't Spider-Man, this would be the worst idea in the world, and it's kind of the worst idea in the world as Spider-Man as well.
Yeah, but at least he has like...
Like, go to the one place that the police will know that you want to go.
Yeah. It's obviously going to be a trap. Oh, fucking hell, he's so stupid in this episode. But yeah, like, Matt Murdock's like, as your lawyer, that's a terrible fucking idea. But as your friend, it's also a terrible fucking idea, but I understand why you're going to do it, so you go.
Which is fair enough.
This is fair enough. I've already been paid, so I don't care either way. And he's like, I'll go into the feds, I'll give them the information, you just try not to get arrested. And Peter's like, no promises!
Yeah, and Matt is like, I guess, like, getting, like, secondhand stupid off Peter, because he's like, I'm gonna bring this one only disc of this proof of your innocence.
He's got, like, a contact high of stupid. So we go to the hospital, where Spider-Man predictably shows up and just hangs outside on the wall, being like, spying on his Aunt May. He comes at the right time, because he overhears Aunt Anna just being like, what a piece of shit Peter Parker is.
And then we see, like...
That asshole doctor from,
it's like the forming of the civilian Sinister Six.
Yeah.
Because it's just, like, Aunt Anna talking shit, and then the asshole doctor comes in like, oh, right, we're talking shit about Peter Parker? I don't even work here anymore, I just want to talk shit about that guy.
I got my license stripped away from the shit in season 1.
Yeah. I was fired for emotionally abusing relatives of patients.
Yeah. While Aunt Anna's cheering him out, MJ, she's got the best face. It's like the, I am this close to throwing this woman out of a window face.
I am this close to reaching into the TV and throwing her out of a window.
She's such an asshole for no reason.
She should go to jail
for
being a dickhead.
Yeah.
I thought that... I remember being mad at Aunt Anna when I was younger watching this show, but I thought that maybe growing up it might be one of those things...
I understand it from like Anna's perspective.
Yeah, exactly. But she is just horrible. Like,
she's awful.
But not only that, she's like finding every single reason to undermine Peter's life and turn everyone against him. It's not working on MJ, not working on Aunt May because she's like deaf to any bad words about Peter and also in a coma. Yeah. And then she's kind of winning over Harry Osborn, who's there.
Yeah, like she might like get him if they continue dating for long enough.
Yeah, but then as we were watching this scene, I was like, is Aunt Anna the big bad of this season?
I was going to say she's like Tony Soprano's mum.
I mean, she's worse. Aunt May's like Tony Soprano's mum. Like, Aunt Anna's like fucking Thanos. Like, in the background, like, moving shit around for several phases.
Yeah.
Sitting on a chair, and then eventually she's going to say, I'm going to do this myself. And she's going to, like, I don't know, suit up and just start curb stomping him.
Yeah. Shredded, run from it, destiny still arrives. She's explaining why it's Peter's fault that Aunt May has the constitution of a papier-mâché scarecrow. I'm just like, fuck this, I'm out. I'm gonna fucking punch this woman out in a second, so I'm gonna give myself some space. Meanwhile, Matt Murdock's going over to the FBI agent, and he's like, hey, here's the files that Peter Parker needs to clear his name. And she's like, yeah, sure, I'm gonna take good care of these, Matt Murdock. In a shocking twist, it turns out she's working for Kingpin, because as soon as, like, Matt Murdock leaves, she turns around and goes, got the files. What was that? Nothing. Got the files for our evil plan, Kingpin. And I had in my notes here that Matt Murdock didn't see it coming.
Low blow.
Because he's blind. Get it? Get it? Get it? But Terry Lee is still smarting from being chewed out by her, so she's like, in another episode, she's getting like a crowbar and she's gonna like kill her in the parking lot. But she kind of like watches Agent Choi get in a car and like drive off, and she's like, this bitch is fucking around. And she takes like note of the license plate.
Yeah, which is like I Heart Crime.
Something that level of dumb. Or just like Vanessa. I told you I get it changed after the fiscal quarter. I can't afford it this time. Stop calling me.
There's a little sticker on the back window that says Kingpin on board.
Yeah. Meatball on board. Honk if you're Kingpin. Anyway. So yeah, she kind of figures out this Fisk's car and she follows her. She puts the crowbar back in the trunk, I'm assuming as well. Back to the hospital, where MJ's walking down the hall, trying to calm down so she sort of doesn't like punch her on the face, which is understandable. I have a theory that at some point, Shonda Rhimes was watching this, and she was inspired to create a show called Grey's Anatomy. Because MJ gets, like, pulled into a supply closet, and Peter's there, and he's like, shh, I want the villain, just don't scream. And she turns around and is like, oh, it's you, why would you do that? And somehow, this leads to them, like, kind of embracing, and then she just kisses him on the mouth. And she's like, oh, I didn't mean to do that. I'm not cocking Harry at all.
I actually quite like that as a scene.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like after being apart and hearing so much shit about Peter, she's like, oh, actually, he's pretty cool.
He's pretty cool.
Because I'm just hanging out with Harry, who's just bitching all the time.
Convicted felon, Harry Osborn. Ghosted me, Harry Osborn.
Treason, Harry Osborn.
Yeah, he's not a catch, it's Harry Osborn. So Peter's like playing a long game. He's like, it's okay, MJ, can I go see my aunt now? And she does what much of the American government has failed to do so far and gets him to wear a mask. And he kind of pretends to be a doctor. A great detail here is like calling him Dr. Peters because she's that unimaginative.
Fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it at this point. And he kind of like sneaks Aunt May's room and they have a little moment where he's like, hey, Aunt May, what's it this time? And she's like, I was just sitting down and I fell into a coma apparently. And he has a nice moment with her. And then Anna walks in. And she's, like, really nice to Peter. And this, like, predictably sets up Peter's spider sense. He's like, what's going on?
I think his spider sense goes off with her, like, 5 times.
Yeah.
I think it goes off when he's looking in the window at her as well. And he's constantly confused by it. But I think, again, she is a villain.
Yeah.
It's a danger sense. It goes off when there's danger, when there's villains, when there's... Yeah. She's a villain. She's bringing danger to his life. So... even if this person wasn't wearing a big glowing chameleon belt, I think it would still go off.
It's like, it's gone off like harder than it would if it was Dr. Octopus in there instead. She was just like, oh fuck, this bitch is here again. I guess that's why he doesn't react, because he's like, my spider sense is going haywire. Better just ignore it.
Yeah, I mean, Aunt Anna's like, I mean, there's a lot of danger. She's gonna like, fuck up all his personal relationships, and she's 100% a snitch.
Yeah. And Peter's like, I guess she's just really, really mad at me. Which is a great thought. Your superpowers are like, that old lady's really mad at you, Peter. You better be careful.
I mean, yeah, genuinely. I would believe it.
Oh, it's so great. And like Peter's like kind of like disarmed at this point. And then he talks to Anna and he's like, okay, gotta go now. I'm gonna go on the run. Gonna be Harrison Ford and the fugitive. And then she offers to like escort him out of the building. And at this point, if you're Peter Parker and you know this woman's history and the spider sense is going off, you know something's up. You know this is definitely not Aunt Anna. Also, considering the fact that you've been in this situation before with the chameleon, there's no reason for him to be like, I guess she's nice now.
Yeah, I guess the only thing about this, I think, I understand the spider sense because she is evil, but yeah the niceness is a bit odd.
It's like the most like dangerous thing.
Even not to like think like, oh, maybe she's an imposter, but like, oh, she's faking being nice because she's gonna like shoot me in the back of the head when I'm not looking.
Yeah, she's gonna kick me in the back of the shins. He's like, this is probably fine. I'm just gonna like go into this elevator with her. And the spider sense is like, no, don't fucking do that. And Peter's like, it's probably fine. Supernatural like danger sense.
Is his spider sense like someone in a cinema audience going, no, don't go down?
Yeah, don't go in the closet, bitch. And Spider-Man's like, no, it's fine.
That would be great if they replaced that weird shimmering sound they have for the spider sense with, hey, don't do it, don't do it, man.
It's like Leslie Jones going like, what the hell are you doing, boy? Don't go in that elevator with that Aunt Anna. She'll kick your ass.
That would be excellent if in the next Spider-Man movie, like the credits come up and this is Leslie Jones as Spider Sense.
Get your ass out of there, boy. But yeah, so he goes in the elevator with Aunt Anna. They go out to the front of the building. Spider-Man's like, so Aunt Anna, thanks for being like weirdly uncharacteristically nice. And then Aunt Anna's like, bitch, I'm a chameleon.
Yeah.
It's a chameleon, who would have thunk?
I wish the chameleon said that every time he revealed himself.
Or he's like that guy in Arrested Development who's like, Gene Parmesan. And then Spider-Man was like, oh! That would be great. But yeah, so the chameleon gasses Peter and MJ, puts him into a van. Meanwhile, Agent Choi, who's secretly being followed, heads into Wilson Fisk's limo. And Terry is like following her. And she's like, fuck, I've got to tell somebody. And she goes to Matt Murdock and he's like, hey, collusion, I've got to go kick some crime now. And while that's happening, Richard Fisk informs his dad that he's recovered Peter in the disc, because he's working with the chameleon, obviously. Mm-hmm. And Wilson's like, yes, my boy. And this part's great. He goes to Smythe, I'm glad I got a good relationship with my father. And then he's like, how's your relationship with your father, Smythe? And Smythe's like, eat a bag of dicks, asshole. he's kind of...
Where's your dad? I haven't seen him in ages. That's why I'm working for you, for fuck's sake.
Your building blew up with him inside, remember?
Do you not see this mullet? This is a grief mullet.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I don't know if it's just we haven't seen him in a few episodes, but his hair looks way worse now.
Because he's not sleeping.
It's like raggedy. It's getting longer and it's weird.
It's just having a terrible time. And even Wilson Fisk is not the kind of employer to be like, you go and greet your dying father. He'd be like, bitch, where's my fucking spider slayer?
Well, no, I mean, he did the opposite. Immediately after his father died, he employed him.
Yeah. This is like the worst grieving process of all time. And for some reason, Smythe is like, I want to know more about your relationship with your dad because I don't have a father. Because of you. And this is the time where, like, Wilson Fisk goes into his life story. And this is great. This is wonderful. So, Daddy Fisk, as we're going to call him now, he's this, like, 2-bit crook, but he's got, like, designs of becoming, like, the big crime boss dude. Wilson Fisk is, not a great criminal. I know how in the comics, like, Wilson Fisk is meant to be, like, built of muscle, but I think he's just fat in this cartoon.
Yeah, I mean, I think they mentioned the muscle thing in the show about the fat muscles.
Yeah.
Like, he's still going to be strong in this show. In the flashback, though, he is. Yeah.
He
even says that in his narration. He's like, people made fun of me because I was fat.
And, like, I shouldn't laugh, but, like, the opening image of, like, fat Wilson with this terrible haircut just made me laugh.
Yeah, he does look really dumb. Also, yeah, he looks like a fat Richard Spencer. You know, he's got that neo-Nazi, like, haircut going on.
He's like, like, fucking, like, a Hitler Youth from 1947. It's just like...
Also, he reveals his name's actually Moriarty Wilson.
Which is an excellent name.
And then he changes that to Wilson Fisk.
Why would you go, like... Why would you keep the Moriarty thing? It's like a rights thing where he's like, I don't want to fuck with Sherlock Holmes.
Well, I will say the interesting thing about this is that I thought, did I miss that in the comics? And it's because that didn't happen in comics. His name is just Wilson Fisk in the comics.
Yeah, because it's a cool name.
But in this, it's like a whole thing of like a new identity he took on at some point.
Yeah, he wanted to call himself Wilson Fist, but like he turned out that name was already taken for some reason. So he's like, guess his Fisk will have to do. So he's a very fat and unpopular kid, and there's this great little like vignette of him like accidentally falling his father's crimes.
Yeah.
At like one point, he's like, his dad trying to rob a bank, and then Wilson Fisk like falls over.
He just falls into them as they're leaving the bank.
It's like,
how bad are this?
What like series of events would have led to that? Imagine like going to jail because a fat kid fell on you.
But also like, if you think about like, if you make a mistake that causes a lot of trouble for other people, it makes you feel bad. And if he's constantly doing that as a kid, maybe that's where all this rage comes from and him becoming such an asshole as an adult because he's just like in such emotional pain from like, I fucked so much shit up.
Yeah. I was to blame for every bad thing that happened in my life. He fails a bank robbery, and then once he gets older, he starts to like join in the family business. And having raised his son from presuming birth, like, it's funny to me that Daddy Fisk is like, do you know what would be good for my obese son? Lots of running. So then it's like, this cuts to the scene where Wilson Fisk is like running away from a crime, but obviously because he's Wilson Fisk before all the jail, he's like, I can't do this shit, I'm having a heart attack.
Yeah.
And his dad kind of like leaves him to like get arrested. There's a ladder, tragically. And Wilson Fisk can't climb it, so he's just like hanging on the bottom rung.
Yeah, and then his dad's just like...
See, you fat fuck!
Yeah.
He gets arrested, predictably, and at the trial, his dad's like whispering to his ear, like, take the fall for us! It's the only thing you'll ever be good for! And Wilson, being like completely emotionally abused, does it. And I don't know what happens to him in jail, but like, I think it was like in Deadpool where it was like in X-Men Origins where like they replace Wolverine's bones with adamantium, but they replace Wilson Fisk's fat with muscle.
Yeah.
Like, it was one of those, like, giant tanks, breaks out and was like, I'm the kingpin now!
Although, replacing fat with muscle is also an explanation of going to the gym.
I like to think it's more, like, traumatic than that. It was like, he was, like, subjected to horrible experiments. Anyway, so, once he's out of jail, like, a new Fisk, he rises to the top of the criminal underworld. It's like a nice little, like, montage, it's like the second act of a biopic. And eventually he gets to the point where he's like, there's only one person left to impress. He kind of brings his father into his, like, crime central, and he's like, I knew my son was the kingpin. Also, I'm sorry for making you go to jail for me. I guess I didn't see you after that. I forgot to visit all those years.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna go now. And Wilson's like, hell no, you're not. And it's implied that he fucking kills his own father.
Yeah.
Alistair Smythe having, like, watched his father die was like, that's so cold, motherfucker. And King was like, yeah, bitch, I know. I love killing dads.
No, please, Willy, don't do this.
I knew you were ruthless, but this...
The sacrifices must be made.
So, at the other end of Castle Fisk, Peter and MJ are thrown into yet another decompression chamber, where they're gonna die.
There's got to be another way to kill people.
We've got guns, we've got, like, anything.
Especially doing the whole James Bond villain trap and then it failing and then just doing it again.
It's like fucking Austin Powers.
And does he have it in every single place of business? Has one of these chambers.
Yeah. But at that moment, I call this scene the beating ass scene because everyone's beating ass. So first off, Tara Lee shows up with some like colleagues to beat some ass, and she beats Agent Cho's ass.
It sounds sexual the more you say it like that.
It's not sexual.
It just sounds sexual.
Get your mind off the guard, yeah.
Fuck you.
And then Daredevil shows up to beat some ass too. So Lee eventually gets the upper hand with Agent Choi.
Yeah, and then she beats off Agent Choi.
And then she beats her ass. I told you.
What? I'm just saying. They're fighting.
Yeah, they're fighting. Yeah.
Daredevil's beating off some guys.
Yeah.
Those guys are beating off, some FBI guys.
Yeah. Peter escapes and tells MJ to hide so he can change the Spider-Man so he can beat people off.
Yeah.
And then the comedian and like Daredevil face off. But then the comedian kind of like changes into Daredevil. So he's like, how are we going to tell the difference between you and me, Daredevil?
Yeah, it's a really weird... It's a really weird plan, because I get it if it's like when Spider-Man comes in a second, but when he first does it, it's like... Is he just trying to psych him out?
Yeah. Am I the comedian or am I a mirror? It's like he was banking on Spider-Man showing up. And
It's also funny. It's also funny considering he's blind.
Yeah.
Because he has a. Because he has a radar sense, right? But that's not like, it's not a costume change. So he just like hears, I guess, the hum of him pressing the buttons. Like, he turned into someone, but I still know where he is. And
to be fair, Chameleon doesn't know he's blind.
That is true.
Yeah.
But that just makes it funnier. It's more of a fail.
What the fuck? I kind of think Chameleon was like, if I can hold out until Spider-Man gets here, I might survive this, because I can't fight Daredevil one-on-one. But Spider-Man's like, hey, what's going on? Oh, that's a real Daredevil. No, that's a real Daredevil. And Spider-Man doesn't see the belt for some reason, but like Daredevil's like, does some crazy shit with like a billy club. Yeah. And Spider-Man's like, oh, we'll whip the other guy up, because like, no Chameleon can do that shit. Eventually they beat Chameleon's ass. Mm-hmm. And then Peter's like, I gotta check on MJ, and she's beating people off too.
Yeah,
everyone's just beating everyone off, man. On from that scene, Wilson Fisk is able to escape, but his son is not, sadly.
Yeah,
he gets arrested, and Spider-Man and Daredevil are left to give chase to Wilson Fisk. Daredevil eventually tracks him down, and this is probably my favorite scene in the whole episode, where they have like this fight between like Wilson Fisk and Daredevil. But in the backdrop of this fight, there's like memories of Wilson Fisk being like a fat kid.
Yeah, they're both having these traumatic dad memories, like invade their brains as they're fighting.
It's really cool.
Yeah, and they're also having basically a sword fight, but like with a cane and a billy club.
And eventually, Kingpin gets the upper hand. He's about to like kill Daredevil, but Spider-Man's like, nope, I could have saved you at any point, Daredevil, but this was a really cool fight to watch. But now I'm here. Spider-Man saves Daredevil from Kingpin. But, like, Kingpin just, like, pulls in his webbing and punches him.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. Like, even, like, Spider-Man gets his ass beat.
Yeah, especially. It's basically a Daredevil. Spider-Man kind of steps aside to be like, yeah, you take down this guy. This. When he tags in, he's immediately out. Yeah. He's
like, yep, I helped. So, yeah, Kingpin is able to escape to the helicopter. But Spider-Man and Daredevil kind of like stow away on the helicopter. Spider-Man webs at the windshield, so he goes crashing into the ground.
But he lands like incredibly well in the middle of Manhattan.
He fucking nails it. I'm like, God damn, dude. That was some like Sully shit. Like, Daredevil ties him up with his like club for some reason. Even Spider-Man's like, got an entire like gimmick for this. I do the tying in this relationship. And he immediately presses the button. It turns out that's not the Kingpin, it's the Chameleon, pretending to be Kingpin. And Spider-Man's like, oh, how did I forget that again? And Daredevil's like, that's okay. I can tell because I can tell disguises, I can see right through them. Spider-Man, I can see right through disguises. And Spider-Man's like, what? Can you see through mine? And this is great. He's kind of like, I totally didn't look or anything. And he starts like blurting some bullshit about the Constitution.
He just says, I didn't look because I'm a big believer in the Constitution. Which is a great line.
He's also lying. He's 100% lying.
Yeah, I'm a great believer in the laws apart from the vigilante ones.
Yeah.
And aiding and abetting a fugitive.
Yeah. So, like, some of the laws.
Wait a minute. If you can see through disguises, does that mean you've seen through mine?
No.
I've respected your right to privacy. I'm a big believer in the Constitution and the law.
A few days later, Agent Choi and Richard Fisk are on trial for treason, and I was kind of surprised that they kind of got like a treason trial in place after like a few days for like non-black people. You know, and it's like, this is like a rich white guy. There's like a fucking like 2-month wait for a trial. They're like gathering the right jury. And like the lawyers are trying to like obscure the evidence, hold everything up. But no, it's 3 days. And they're found guilty. Wilson Fisk is like, hey, you gotta take the fall for this, man. And he kind of becomes his like father for a second.
Yeah.
Like a fat version of his father.
Wilson, please stop whispering in the defendant's ear during proceedings.
I'm going to hold you in contempt of court. And he's like, what? I'm just talking to my son in the middle of his treason trial. Don't give me up, boy. Yeah, the circle closes and Wilson Fisk finally becomes his father. And this does allow Fisk to apologise to Peter Parker after the trial. Like, Peter's like, thank God I'm not going to jail this time. And Wilson Fisk is like, hey, I'm sorry about all the shit my son did.
Yeah.
What? I didn't whisper into his ear. You were seeing things, Peter Parker. And Peter Parker wants to be like, fuck you, asshole.
Yeah.
But he knows that if he kind of like is mean to Kingpin, Fisk will kind of go like, why is this random kid being mean to me? Maybe he's Spider-Man. So Peter's like, oh, thanks, Wilson. Is that job still around? And then Wilson just like closes the window and drives off. Mm-hmm. So Peter has been unemployed again.
Apology accepted. But watch it, Kingpin.
We're back at Crime Central. And Fisk is like to Smythe, like, you're on review. I'm placing you on review because your plan fucked up again. He's only there because, like, he employed him after his father's death. There's no reason for him to be like, Smythe has no incentive to be here. He doesn't want to be here.
He hasn't had an incentive to be here for ages, other than, like, he wants to kill Spider-Man, but, like, I don't know. Early on, when he first joined, it was more like Wilson Fisk was, like, pretending to be the comforting person to stop those evil people, and it was, like, more implied that, like, it was clear that Kingpin, like, was making it sound like he wasn't a crime lord.
Yeah.
Like he's just a concerned businessman who wants to like help him take down Spider-Man. At this point, they've been doing so much crime and he's been so like gleefully evil that Smythe is just like, I guess, just a jerk now. Or he's just like had no sleep and just addicted to various drugs. He's just like in a real downward spiral.
Yeah. He's like into like the second act of Requiem for a Dream and stuff like that. Just having his own fucking meltdown in the background. I had a great thought just now that, so Wilson Fisk, right? A sensibly well-respected New Yorker, very large, kind of slimy son, but secretly a piece of shit crime lord. Who does that remind you of?
Well, I mean, I know that I was also reminded of this during the opening level of Spider-Man PS4 game.
Yeah.
When Spider-Man storms
Fisk
Tower.
Fisk Tower, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Imagine if there was like a Spider-Man comic where like Wilson Fisk ran for president.
No, currently in the comics, I think he is mayor of New York. So, yeah.
That tracks.
Yeah.
That's like fucking season 3 of Daredevil, isn't it? Anyway, back to Spider-Man animated series matters. Smythe is like, okay, I guess I'm on review because I definitely want to be here. And then, like, as Smythe wheels away, Fisk kind of gets like this photo of his son and his estranged wife, and I'm assuming like he's getting it like up the ass from like Vanessa being like, wait, Richard did what? Richard's where? For what? I've been gone for like 6 months and our son is in jail for treason.
Yeah.
Also, so that's those divorce papers, god damn it.
He starts reflecting on what I thought was pretty cool, like the idea of like, I'm just doing the same cycle again. And
yeah.
How long is it before my son like fucks me over like I fucked my dad over?
Oh, is that what he's saying? I thought he was like, I can't wait for my son to get revenge on Daredevil.
No.
Because that makes much more sense.
Yeah.
Now, how many days shall I have to wait for my son to exact his revenge?
Okay, we're at the Bugle, where Matt Murdock and J. Jonah Jameson are talking, and J. Jonah Jameson's like, thanks for helping out Peter. And Matt's like, hey, why didn't you tell Peter that you were the one who, like, paid for this incredible, like, defense? And J3's kind of like, that would ruin my image. This one act of kindness would ruin my image, like, irreparably.
This is actually, like, a pure JJ in the comics move.
Yeah.
Which I really enjoy, which is the whole being an asshole, but then when it comes down to it, doing shit behind the scenes, but then looking for no credit for it.
Yeah.
Which I really like.
It's kind of cute. So he underlines this by going like, Robbie Robertson, why'd you give Peter his job back? You asshole.
Yeah.
And he's like winking at Matt Murdock going like, I'm nice. And then in our final scene, Spider-Man and Daredevil meet on a rooftop, where he tells Spider-Man that Matt Murdock is needed in DC, so they can't hang out anymore.
Right, yeah. And he's like, I guess I'll go to my TV show now, and then jumps into the abyss because that show never existed.
You can find me, Spider-Man, on Fox at 7:30 Eastern Time.
In an alternate universe.
And yeah, he's like, well, Matt's going to DC to, like, probably, like, participate in an impeachment trial. Mr. Murdock, I did not have sexual relations with that woman. And he's like, Daredevil has to accompany Matt Murdock for reasons.
Yeah.
Don't think about it too hard. No reason at all. And he's like, hey, can you take care of Kingpin while I'm gone? And Spider-Man's like, shit, gas. Daredevil kind of like fucks off, and Spider-Man's like, I'm gonna save the city from Kingpin all by myself. Why has Daredevil hoisted me with this like big responsibility? Because he pretty much was like, yeah, this is big bad guy, see ya.
Well, I guess he knew that there was a big bad guy, but he just kind of like, now DeDe gives him like some great info.
Yeah.
He gives him the intel. Although now I say DeDe. In my notes, I write down DeDe.
I write down DeDe, yeah.
just for, but then you say it out loud, and it just sounds like King DeDe.
King DeDe, or like DeDe from Dexter's Laboratory.
DeDe?
Yeah, the little, like, Dexter's sister.
Oh, I can't.
The ballerina one.
I didn't
Like,
watch that show, really.
ooh, what does this button do? We call him Double D.
No, I'm down with King DeDe.
King DeDe. Anyway, yeah, King DeDe goes back to his kingdom,
Yeah.
which is never seen again. And Spider-Man's like, yeah, I'm gonna do some Spider-Man stuff, and it kind of closes on that. And yeah,
I just realized, if we're going with this, like, it's more like Kingpin is like the King DeDe, and Spider-Man is Kirby, and Daredevil is Meta Knight.
it's pretty accurate. As accurate as that can be.
Yeah, except for it's not a Kirby game, so there's no, like, Lovecraftian, like,
Horror.
Elder God horrors
Yeah.
to fight as well.
Spider-Man doesn't like eat anybody and steal their powers, even though like the show would be better if he did.
But he does stomp on a lot of heads in this episode, much like Mario
Yeah.
again.
Yeah,
It's a lot of head bumping.
a lot of head bumping. No like dinosaur riding though. Not this episode at least. No. Anyway, yeah, that's season 3, episode 7, entitled "The Man Without Fear." And over here we have the man without a hat.
What?
You don't have a hat on.
What?
Let me try that again. So that was the man without fear, and over here we're the man without opinions, but we do have opinions. So we're going to talk about this episode some more. What do you think of this one, Jack?
I'm more distracted by you couldn't think of one thing we didn't have. So you picked the thing that we have the most of. We could be the men without shame because we have a podcast.
Oh, we've got plenty of shame. We've got a podcast.
Yeah, I guess so. Our secret shame.
It's a secret.
It is for me.
Goodbye, Daredevil. And don't worry, I'm going to fight the Kingpin to the bitter end. So help me.
This episode was good. It's a weird one, actually, because I think immediately after I watched the first part of this, I was like super, super into that episode. But then over time, the more I thought about it, the more I was like, it was fine. And then this one, when we first watched it, I thought it was kind of underwhelming in a Hobgoblin Part 2 way of like, they're just tying everything up. But then the more I think about it, the more I actually really like it.
Yeah.
I'm down for this episode. I also think it's the one that, like, I mean, we'll get into this in our regular segment a little bit later, but it's the most clear one so far of the sins of the father, because they go hard on, like, tying all
sins.
that stuff together at the
Yeah.
end, and it makes Kingpin's character in this way more interesting, whereas at this point, like, I like Kingpin in his show, but he's been, like, a lot of fun. And then now it's like, okay, he's got a bit of character, like, depth to him.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate. And it's sad to see Daredevil go.
Yeah.
It makes me sad again that we're not getting another Daredevil show.
Yeah. It was like fucking Poochie energies. He was like, I'm going to my home district now. Daredevil died on the way back to Hell's Kitchen. But yeah, no, I kind of agree that, like, especially with, like, the really kind of underwhelming split point, I was like, fuck, where's this going? And having, like, introduced all this stuff in the first episode, it felt a bit, like, chaotic, in a good way, but, like, chaotic. But here it felt like, this is probably, like, the best written episode of the season, I'd say. There's, like, lots of little, like, stories and, like, dynamics going on, and it all feels natural. It feels like natural, like, progression of things. But it doesn't feel rushed or, like, forced in any way either.
Yeah.
Like, the stuff with, like, Wilson Fisk, obviously, with Daredevil, with Peter and MJ even. That kind of relationship feels like that was going to happen at some point, but it doesn't feel like, oh, I don't like Harry anymore now.
Yeah.
It feels like, obviously, like, there's still something there, and it's kind of been growing and building over some time. I thought it was really, really well done, and I really think Whereas like season 2 had a bit of lots of ups and downs. This is very much like at a good level, and it's been slowly getting better, I think, as well. But yeah, so Daredevil is great.
Yeah. As far as like, do we have any amnesia this episode that I'm forgetting?
No amnesia. Our amnesia count still stands at 4. But maybe we had amnesia about the amnesia count. Maybe it's been like
Yeah, that's true.
That kind of brings us to our main segment of the podcast.
The main segment.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, sure.
So who's the daddy this week, Jack?
Oh, finally you got the title right.
Yeah, I'm learning.
Yeah, the daddy this week, I think. I mean, there's a lot of daddies going around in this episode, but
We've got daddies for days.
Yeah, I think it would have to be Kingpin, because he's kind of becoming his own father. He's being a shitty dad to his son, thinking a lot about his dad, being almost like the vehicle in which like Daredevil could get revenge for what happened to his father.
He's also mocking Smythe for not having a dad. Loki.
Yeah, and then when they have that fight with all the dad memories, like powering them up, it's kind of like this endless cycle of daddery that's just like becoming this like infinite loop of self-sustaining fatherhood. Yeah, so I'd say it's got to be Daddy Kingpin.
Daddy Kingpin, Daddy Fisk.
Have you got any other suggestions?
No, I was going to say, like, yeah, Wilson Fisk is, like, the big daddy of this episode, for sure. Like, I don't think anyone's been more of a daddy than Wilson Fisk has in this episode.
Although, I guess there's Kingpin's dad, who is just a shitty dad,
which
is probably the most realistic dad we've had so far.
Yeah, just, like, kind of selfish and, like, not really paying attention to his son.
Yeah, but Kingpin does kind of come in and be like, oh, you guys didn't know I was a dad? I'm a hardcore dad.
Yeah, I'm a
I have
dad.
I have daddy issues going both ways.
Yeah. I guess also Daredevil / Matt Murdock continue to be a good dad to Peter Parker.
Yeah.
But we kind of covered them in last episode, so we don't really need to, like, re-dad the past.
And moving on from that into comic book origins, I've got nothing. The only thing I can really go into is, I was almost going to say Richard Spencer, because I put that in my own brain, but Richard Fisk.
We could go into Richard Spencer.
No, that's really not.
I mean, he does look like him at one point in this episode.
Richard Fisk has so much going on. I mentioned in the last episode how I couldn't be asked to go through that shit because there's so much.
Yeah.
But even in the time since we last recorded, I was remembering new things about a couple of major things about him. And the more I think about it, the more I think it will have to be a weird law at some point.
Excellent.
But it will have to be in a while. And at first I was thinking of saying like, hey, if we get like 10 patrons, then I'll do it or something. But then I realized that maybe someone could be a jerk and just become a top tier Patreon and then just tell us to do it, because you have that power if you become a patron.
Yeah. We sold our soul for £10 a month.
So that might be happening further down the road, but someone will have to nudge me, I think, still. But I will say that Richard Fisk might go different way in this series, I'm not sure, but there's a lot of, in the comics, he's kind of brought in more as opposition to his father.
Oh, excellent.
So it's like a rival, and then he goes back and forth, and a lot of nonsense happens.
Lots of, like, daddy issues.
Yeah, because I think it goes through to the 80s and 90s, and everything just becomes insane and confusing.
Like the 90s in Spider-Man comics, anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess you have no comic book origins. That brings us to the end of that 90s Spider-Man show for another day. Mm-hmm. But yeah, thanks for joining us on this Fisky journey. And if you like that, you should watch the other episodes with your ears. Listen to the other episodes that we've got going on. Mm-hmm. If you like those, head out to our Patreon, pay some money for that, or just hang with us on Twitter.
You know, it's funny. This is just popping into my head right at the end and in an appropriate time. But isn't it weird how like Daredevil and Spider-Man are probably the guiltiest superheroes ever?
Yeah.
In terms of feeling guilt. Because obviously Spider-Man's so motivated by guilt, but then also Daredevil's got all that Catholic guilt.
Which is like powerful shit.
Yeah, that's like ultra guilt.
Yeah.
You know? And then together, they're like super guilt bros ultimate.
They kind of like a guilt synergy thing. It's like there's more guilt than some of their parts.
But it doesn't actually come up that much in this episode.
Maybe they cancel each other out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like an unguiltable force meets a guilty object or something.
Yeah, maybe they can destroy Kingpin if they direct their guilt at each other, like the ending of Iron Man 2.
This is the ending of Ghostbusters, but that's better.
No. Yeah, and I guess in that scenario, like, Kingpin is Whiplash, but instead of souped up Whiplash armor, he's got dad armor.
Dad armor.
He's powered up by his dadness, and they're powered up by their guilt.
He's like just powered up by like different like trimmings from like the Sunday Times.
Yeah, and I guess that guilt comes from daddy issues.
Yeah, fathers, man. Like this episode is not going to be released anywhere near Father's Day, but this is a good episode to listen to on Father's Day. If for some reason you're like, I want to listen to a podcast with my dad, I guess listen to this one.
Or I'm looking for something else to do because I don't want to talk to my dad.
How can I get my dad to not want to talk to me anymore? This is the episode for that, guys. Well, I've done all this stuff before, so I'm going to say goodbye now. Any last words, Jack?
See you later, fuckers.
That's been that 90s Spider-Man show. And remember, if your Aunt Anna is being nice to you and your spider sense is going off, that's a comedian. See you later, guys.
Lock her up.